Hello, good day, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is for you. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you that are new here, I'm Alex. I'm the founder of Yin Yoga. And today I am going to share with you a short practice, simply a Yin Yoga style forward fold that is designed to help you drop back into your body. So if you're like me, you might get very heady throughout the day. You might do a lot of work that requires mental processes, and especially with the current global climate that we're in, a lot of us are more isolated. A lot of us are a bit more active on our screens. And so just in that, we end up a bit more in our heads and less in our bodies. And you might notice that in feelings of anxiety, in feelings of excessive thinking or experiences of excessive thinking. You might feel it as extreme hypertension in your body. And so if at any point throughout your day, especially the midday around like, I don't know, anywhere between 1 to 3 p.m., 2 p.m., dropping into a forward fold is one of the best ways to reset this so that you come back in, back down, you're more present, you're more embodied, and you are more calm. You have more capacity to show up throughout the rest of your day with ease. And you settle all of that chatter and you settle the feeling of unease that's alive in your body. Okay? And so we'll begin. I'm going to get set up. We're going to do a straight-legged forward fold. If you happen to be sitting on a blanket, you can just push it out from beneath you. And we'll lengthen our legs out long. I always like to remove the flesh out from underneath my sit bones so that I can feel the earth. I can feel my skeleton really ground down into the support of the floor, the support of the mat. So if you're new to Yin Yoga entirely, in Yin Yoga, we move into poses with a more passive mindset versus an active mindset. And in that process, we begin to release tension in the more superficial layers of the body. And it starts to target the deeper, denser tissues like the fascia and the bone. And so I'm going to guide you into that process. And today, the forward fold that we're going to do is going to be just 5 minutes. But if you have more time, I highly encourage you to go all the way up to 7 or 10 minutes. And hopefully you'll notice a shift in what's going on up here. Okay, so place both hands down by your sides. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Whatever you're holding on to, let it go with the breath. And we'll start to round our spine forward, letting the forehead begin to drop down toward the shin bones or the knees, or even the thighs for some of us. If your knees pop up because you have tight hamstrings, that is totally normal. What we're looking for is that you come into what we call the point of first resistance. First resistance is when you are not pulling yourself into the pose, but just letting your body stop where it will stop naturally without effort. Maybe you can reach out through the heels a bit just to lengthen the hamstrings, let the head get heavy. We'll begin to settle in for the next few minutes. For some of you, you might have such tight hamstrings or limitations in your back that this is your stopping point right here. That's perfectly normal. Pardon the hair. That's perfectly normal. And for some of us, we have so much range of motion that our heads go in between our legs, right? All skeletons are different, and everyone has various experiences, various life events that shape our bodies differently. We're not necessarily looking for a particular image in the shape, but instead an experience, a sensation of release. And so close your eyes. Feel the forehead get soft. Let the jaw part so that the jaw is very relaxed. Notice if there's any holding in the shoulders or the arms, and let that go. Let any muscular effort go. Notice if you're holding in the outer seam of your legs, along the outer edges of your thighs, your knees, your shins. Release any tension in your torso, in your belly, in your low back. Can the head get even heavier so that the back of the neck is very long? After having been here for about 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes, you might start to find that the spine and the torso begin to drop down closer toward the legs. This is gravity inviting you deeper into the pose. This is your inner body, the fascia, the connective tissue, beginning to open up and lengthen as you find more space and open up into more space within the physical body. As you do this, your mind will naturally relax. Your awareness will come deeper down into the body. If you begin to feel any discomfort, or if the discomfort that you felt at the beginning has intensified, that is completely normal. We like to say that Yin Yoga isn't really meant to be comfortable, but it is meant to be comfortably uncomfortable. And so if there's any sharp sensations or pain, just come out of the pose, and lay flat on your back and let the effects settle in. In these last 30 seconds here, take a moment to mentally scan the whole body from head to toe, stopping in those areas that are a little bit more tense, a little bit more congested, a little bit more uncomfortable, and spending a little bit of time there, breathing into that space, inviting it to release, inviting it to open up. In order to come out of the pose, you want to stay as soft as possible so that the effects down into the fascia and the soft tissue remain. We don't steal it by bringing it into muscular effort. And so we'll keep our head heavy. We'll press our hands into the floor beside our legs. We'll just start to walk our hands up towards our hips, keeping the elbows somewhat locked as the arms are stacked, coming all the way up, moving at your pace to lie down flat onto your backs. And once you get there, you might experience some popping in the low back. That happens to me almost every time. And that's okay. It's totally normal. It's just the skeleton adjusting itself. When we give the body time to rest and restore and relax and settle, the skeleton begins to naturally adjust itself into alignment. So we'll just take a moment here to let that 5-minute forward fold settle in with our eyes closed. Notice where your breath is. Notice where there's any remaining tension and invite it to soften. Beautiful. Okay. Begin to bend one knee, bend the other. Place both feet on the ground. Just lift your hips up slightly. Tuck your tailbone up toward the ceiling. Hug your knees into your chest. Deep breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. We'll roll on over to one side. Press ourselves up to a seat. Take a moment to come into an easy pose, just a relaxed sitting position. You're always welcome to put a blanket underneath your sit bones if you need to. Raise your hips up off the floor and just close your eyes. And check in. How does your mind and how does your body feel in comparison to when we first started? Do you feel more open, more relaxed, more quiet, more present? This is a practice I highly recommend doing whenever you find yourself in a state of anxiety or overwhelm. And often that could be during the midday, during the work week, when we feel like we have a lot of pressure on us to achieve and perform and complete various tasks. I hope that this was helpful for you, and thank you so much for popping in. Namaste.